Hello and welcome. This is Notibot Yenji. Tonight, we bring you a special report on the escalating tensions in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine continues to draw in other nations, while the Iran war has left a trail of destruction. We'll examine the lessons that can be drawn from the Iran war on AI infrastructure and explore how Ukraine's drone expertise could benefit Gulf countries. Additionally, Turkish intelligence chief warns of a global crisis, and Ukraine's president signs deals with key Gulf nations. We'll dive into these and more in our news recap. As the world grapples with the escalating threat of artificial intelligence, we're turning to the lessons learned from a war-torn nation in Asean. The threat of AI-powered countermeasures in the context of the Iran-US conflict has sent shockwaves throughout the region. According to reports, Iran has identified U.S. tech companies with Israeli links as legitimate targets for countermeasures, including Google, Microsoft, Palantir, NVIDIA, and Oracle. This revelation highlights the growing concern over the weaponization of artificial intelligence and its potential impact on regional security. The targeting of digital infrastructure, including privately owned data centers, is a significant development. As AI-powered data analytics, cloud storage, and military operations converge, the lines between economic disruption and strategic jeopardy become increasingly blurred. The data centers and algorithms that underwrite critical infrastructure, such as banking, healthcare, education, and public administration, could also be seen as military targets for destruction. This development is particularly concerning for Southeast Asia, as it could have far-reaching implications for the region's security. The convergence of AI and military operations means that digital infrastructure is becoming a critical component of modern warfare. As the Iran-US conflict demonstrates, this infrastructure can be vulnerable to cyber attacks and other forms of digital disruption. The implications for ASEAN are clear. The region must take steps to address the growing threat of AI-powered countermeasures. This includes developing robust cybersecurity measures, investing in digital resilience, and fostering international cooperation to address the shared challenges of AI-driven security threats. As the world grapples with increasing drone usage, a growing number of Gulf countries are exploring the potential of Ukraine's renowned drone expertise. The escalating war between Iran and its regional adversaries has left Gulf countries scrambling for new defense partnerships. Since the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran began a month ago, Gulf nations have been bombarded by Iranian missiles and drones, prompting the use of advanced air defense systems to counter the attacks. However, interceptor missiles are expensive and take time to manufacture, leaving a pressing need for alternative solutions. Ukraine, under near-daily attack from Russia, has spent 4 years perfecting interceptor drones that can be produced quickly and cheaply. These drones have proven effective in Ukraine's battles, allowing the country to defend itself against Russian aggression. Now, some Gulf nations are seeking Ukraine's expertise in developing similar drones. Saudi Arabia and Qatar have already signed defense agreements with Ukraine, with the aim of acquiring the expertise to develop their own air defense systems. If other Gulf nations follow suit, they could potentially offer Ukraine a significant source of revenue. The agreements could also provide Ukraine with a much-needed boost to its economy, which has been severely impacted by the ongoing conflict with Russia. The introduction of Ukrainian drones to Gulf countries under attack from Iran could prove highly beneficial. These drones could provide an effective and cost-efficient means of countering Iranian missile attacks, giving Gulf nations a critical advantage in the ongoing conflict. As Alexei Melnik, co-director of the Foreign Relations and International Security Programs at the Razumkov Center, notes, Ukraine's expertise could be a game-changer for Gulf countries looking to defend themselves against Iranian aggression. We're now turning to a stark warning from Turkish intelligence, suggesting a potential flashpoint that could have catastrophic consequences for global stability. Turkish intelligence chief warns Israel-US war on Iran risks global crisis. Turkish National Intelligence Organization Chief Ibrahim Kalin has warned that the ongoing war involving Israel, the US, and Iran risks escalating into a global crisis. Speaking at the Stratcom Summit 2026 in Istanbul, Kalin stated that the war between Israel and Palestinian resistance group Hamas, which began on October 7, 2023, continues to have significant consequences. Despite efforts to realize peace in Gaza, Israel's policies of occupation and annexation have continued without interruption. The situation has become increasingly complex with the recent escalation of the Israel-US-Iran war, which began on February 28. Kalin stated that Turkey has made intense diplomatic efforts to prevent the war from emerging and to stop it from spreading, warning that it risks expanding beyond the region. He also emphasized that the conflict could deepen divisions in the region. Kalin's comments come as the situation in the Middle East continues to deteriorate. The Russia-Ukraine war, which began in 2022, has entered its fifth year, with no clear picture of how it will end. The ongoing conflict between Israel, the US, and Iran has significant implications for global stability. The Turkish president has warned that the war risks becoming a war for which 8 billion people will pay the price. The potential consequences of this war are far-reaching, with the potential for widespread conflict and instability in the region. The international community is watching the situation closely, with many calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The ongoing diplomatic efforts by Turkey and other countries will be crucial in determining the course of the conflict. As President Zelenskyy wraps up his Gulf tour, significant air defense agreements with key regional players have been announced, highlighting Ukraine's diplomatic push. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has signed air defense deals with the United Arab Emirates and Qatar during his recent diplomatic tour of the region. The agreements aim to leverage Ukraine's expertise in countering Russian drones to help Gulf nations, which have been targeted by Iran. Zelenskyy visited the UAE earlier this week, where he signed a deal with Saudi Arabia. He then stopped in Qatar on Saturday, where he met with Qatar's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Defense Affairs, Sheikh Saud bin Abdulrahman bin Hassan Al Thani. The meeting led to the signing of a defense agreement between the two countries, which includes collaboration in technological fields, joint investments, and the exchange of expertise in countering missiles and unmanned aerial systems. The agreement was signed by Qatari Armed Forces Lieutenant General Jassim bin Mohammed Al-Manai and Ukrainian Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, Andriy Nadov. The officials discussed the latest security developments, including the ongoing attacks by Iranian missiles on Gulf nations. Iran claims to be targeting only U.S. assets, but the assaults have raised concerns over civilian casualties. Ukraine's involvement in the region comes after the country has successfully downed numerous Russian drones in recent years. The country has deployed anti-drone experts to the UAE and Saudi Arabia as part of its diplomatic tour. The agreements with Qatar and the UAE mark a significant step in Ukraine's efforts to share its expertise with Gulf nations. The move is seen as a strategic attempt by Ukraine to increase its influence in the region and to counter the growing threat posed by Iranian missiles. We're now moving to a developing story on the Ukraine conflict, where the U.S. has reportedly tied its security guarantees to Ukraine's loss of control. Ukraine War Briefing, a complex web of U.S. involvement. In a significant development, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has confirmed that the United States is linking security guarantees for a peace deal in Ukraine to Kyiv's cession of the eastern region of Donbass to Russia. This revelation comes as U.S. President Donald Trump is under pressure to bring an end to the four-year conflict. Zelenskyy claims that Trump's focus on the Middle East conflict with Iran is influencing his decision-making, and that Ukraine is being put under pressure to compromise. Zelenskyy has expressed his disappointment with Trump's strategy, stating that the eastern region of Ukraine is a crucial part of the country's security guarantees. He also accused Russia of attempting to blackmail the U.S., claiming that Moscow has offered to stop sharing military intelligence with Iran in exchange for Washington cutting off Ukraine from its intelligence data. The situation escalated further with a Ukrainian drone attack on an industrial area near Russia's largest oil refinery in the northern Leningrad region. Governor Alexander Drozdenko reported that over 20 drones were shot down, causing significant damage. The attack highlights the ongoing conflict and the risks involved for both Ukraine and Russia. The impact of this development matters, as it raises questions about the U.S.'s role in brokering a peace deal and the implications for Ukraine's sovereignty. The situation also underscores the complexities of the conflict, with multiple parties involved and competing interests at play. As tensions continue to escalate, it is essential to understand the intricacies of this conflict and the strategies being employed by the key players. New details have emerged on the recent Iranian attack on a U.S. air base in Iraq, as a key witness sheds light on Russia's involvement. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, Russia took satellite images of a U.S. air base in Saudi Arabia just days before an Iranian attack on the site. This revelation comes as part of a summary of daily presidential briefings shared with NBC News by the Ukrainian leader. The images were taken by Russian satellites on March 20th, 23, and 25, and were shared with Iran, according to Zelenskyy. This, he claims, is evidence of Russia's involvement in helping Iran target U.S. forces in the region. Zelenskyy stated that if Russia makes images once, it's preparation, the second time it's a simulation, and the third time it means an attack is imminent. The attack on the Prince Sultan Air Base on March 26 resulted in injuries to several American service members, although none were considered life-threatening. The incident has raised concerns about the level of support provided to Iran by Russia and other nations in the region. The implications of this revelation are significant, as it suggests a level of cooperation between Russia and Iran in targeting U.S. forces. This could have major implications for regional security and U.S. military operations in the Middle East. The incident also highlights the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Russia in the region, with both nations vying for influence and power. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to monitor developments and assess the full extent of Russia's involvement in the region. That's all for tonight's news recap. Thank you for watching. We'll continue to bring you updates on the Ukraine conflict, AI, and global security. If you'd like to stay informed on the latest developments, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll be back tomorrow with more news and analysis. Until then, good night, and we'll see you in the next video.